I enjoy walking a lot, and it makes me feel good to walk through Roxbury and find out things that I always loved and the things that I didn't like. If it's not safe, then I don't like it. The sidewalks were very difficult to maneuver. There were no regulations, speed limits, or anything like that. So I saw something about a group of people that were assessing the streets and making improvements. The name of the organization was Walk Boston. I went to one of their meetings, and lo and behold, it was a part of the Roxbury in Motion agenda.
Roxbury in Motion is a group of organizations and residents who want to improve healthy outcomes for folks and healthy environments. Roxbury is the geographical center of Boston. The neighborhood has about 70,000 people that live in it. Most of the folks who live here are Black and Latino. There's one of the highest concentrations of poverty exist in Roxbury.
Many streets were built here in the 1950s and 60s that are wide arterials and that are difficult to cross. So there's an excess amount of roadway and pavement. There's a major bus terminal here.
In Dudley Square houses the largest bus station in the state. It has about 30,000 people that come through the bus station every day. There's a lot of fast traffic that goes through there. It's not very easy to cross, and there's no bike accommodations. So walking and biking around Roxbury is not very easy to do and not very safe. The built environment has a big impact on what choices people have access to. There's a really high rate of diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure compared to other neighborhoods in the city of Boston. And there's a 30-year life expectancy difference between Back Bay and Roxbury. Back Bay is maybe a mile down the road, it's not too far. I find the Roxbury in Motion project as being the in-between between residents and the city. We've been really working a lot on different types of ways to engage folks in this process, in the decision-making process. In 2016, we did a walking and biking assessment in Dudley Square, which we ended up taking that information and putting it into a priorities document and sharing that with the city so that the city could actually use that information to inform the Dudley Square Complete Streets project.
Getting into a practice of complete streets, which means designing roads for everybody. What we noticed is it's the communities of color and low-income communities that are usually the last to get those improvements. So we're still not doing enough to support the poor and communities.
And in 2017, we did a Dudley Square Transportation Town Hall, and we had some great involvement from the neighborhood, what they really wanted to see and what their priorities were. And in 2018, we held an event called Better Streets, Building a Toolkit for Change. We really wanted to work with people around easy ways that you can do advocacy in your everyday life. How many of you have used Boston 311 before?
How many of you guys have the app on your phone?
Review of some of the issues that you'd like us to address.
In our system, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. People who understand how the system works and which levers to pull all too often get the most resources and the most attention, but trying to make sure that everyone has access to those tools.
The key to the whole thing is getting the feedback from the residents, the people who actually walk the streets and know what's going on. It's been a long process, so things are getting better, but it's a constant effort. We have to bring the residents in. Their input is what's making it happen.
Maybe we'll be gone in 4 years, and we want them to continue to press for improvements. As residents ask for improvements and they receive them, they become empowered. They feel better, not just about their neighborhood, but they feel better about themselves.
Melnia Cass Boulevard is a street that we've been doing advocacy around for a long time.
About 8 years ago, the city did receive some funding to plan a bus rapid transit service on Melnia Cass Boulevard, which would have required widening the roadway from 4 lanes to 7 or 8 lanes.
There's a group called the Friends of Melnia Cast. The group did a really great job of preventing that from happening and have been working with the city really cohesively since then to make sure that the boulevard works for all people, that we have bike infrastructure, walking infrastructure.
The city initially would have taken down over 200 trees, but because of pressure put upon the city by the residents, they have now modified the design so that only 60 trees will be taken.
I really see as like one of our major solutions being policy and planning initiatives in terms of community health. These things aren't just going to stop when, we stop this project or when this isn't funded anymore. These residents are going to continue to be involved in some way in the decision-making process of their own neighborhood.
I've seen many neighborhoods in the city become transformed, and Roxbury is actually in that process. And of course, there are pluses and minuses to that, because when neighborhoods become revitalized, housing often becomes unaffordable to many of the current residents.
A lot of the fear that the residents have, and a lot of meetings that I've gone to, is that because some of these high-rises are going up, more business people moving into the area, that the property values have increased. In fact, they have increased.
Gentrification and displacement have been issues that have continuously come up. We talk about the difference between economic development and neighborhood revitalization. Really, is neighborhood revitalization is the ground up. The residents make these decisions and therefore it's for them. We try to be more comprehensive rather than just saying like our only mission is just to put in concrete bike lanes here, and saying, how can we really change these streets to be more people-friendly, to be more environmentally friendly, and to serve the people who currently live here.
Being able to feel safe when you get out into the streets is all about your health. If you want to go to the store and get something, you want to go to the doctor, anything you want to do involves walking. The residents are the ones that promote just about everything that can make these changes. And I would like to be a part of making it better.